let's just move on to the moment we've all been waiting for. Someone whose identity has been locked behind a canine presence. He is the man you know as one of the funniest dudes on Twitter. It is Network.
That's spectacular.
Ba-ba-bum! He is! How are you doing, man?
Good.
Thanks for coming on.
No problem. This
Cool.
show's terrible.
Well, this is a big reveal for people. What do you expect the reaction to be? The national huge reaction to the 80 people watching this right now to see that you are in fact a human.
Shock. Appalled.
Shock and awe.
Obviously. Massive fan outpouring support. Love letters.
This is up. I hope so. All right. So let's get right into something interesting. Jeremy Lin, you may have heard of this guy. Something of a big story these days in New York. He's the point guard, and I'm curious where you think the national discourse is on him. Is it possible to even think of him as a human, or is he basically a pure symbol at this point?
Well, first of all, his rise has been so quick that there's just a paucity of products available for him. So I'd like to announce that I have the very first Jeremy Lin basketball cards available. I will sell them $49.99 a piece. These are legit, guys. It's the real deal from the Fervent company. And these are you can't get these any. Look at that.
That's from Fervor?
And
nice.
these is the first box of these. $49.99. It's a steal.
Yeah, those are gonna be worth even more someday. It's really an investment, is what it is.
It's like gold. It's like gold. It's better than gold.
Well, we'll make sure to.
He is like he has become very symbolic, and I think a lot of it is NBA basketball is so insular, and when something bursts through to the mainstream, people really we're not prepared for that kind of, for that kind of publicity, for that kind of hype. I mean, it's amazing. He was on they were talking about him on The View this morning, on The Talk as well as The View. Both The Talk and The View were talking about him. Compared him favorably to Jordan.
Well, he is Jordan-esque, I would say. His game, the way he plays, his athletic profile, it all looks just like Jordan. I'm curious where you stand on this, because this is something we've talked a lot about off camera, with the guys here, and that is it your perception that Lin was unfairly passed on, or that he was sort of in the position that a lot of 11th, 12th man end up in, where you just don't get the opportunity to fail and succeed the way he has?
At the stage of coming out in college, maybe. It's hard to say. I watched a lot of his games at Golden State. I really didn't see anything that told me that he would even approach being anything like he's being now. I saw him turn the ball over a lot. I saw Monte glaring at him like he wanted to strangle him a couple of times. I don't know if it's the system or if it's just he took a leap somehow in the summertime before he came over to the Knicks. But it's so hard to say, because I really didn't think he could be this good from what I've watched of him in the past. Even his summer league stuff, which looked really cool, I didn't know how that would translate.
Right. And you're someone who's I would say you are one of the most protective people of the Knicks on Twitter. You come to the Knicks' defense. But this is a guy who is basically antithetical to the entire Dolan regime, right? He was cheap. He came out of nowhere. Where do you, how does he fit into sort of the Knicks for you in the last, 10 years?
Well, the Dolan regime, that is even limiting it, because we love stars in New York, and this is going back
Sure.
to forever and forever and forever. Spencer Haywood, you know, and Bob McAdoo, you know. But so I think it's a little unfair to lump Dolan into the guy who loves stars when that's really been kind of the theme in New York for a long time. It is something that New York fans have kind of wanted for a long time, is a homegrown guy who is putting up numbers like this, igniting the Garden in a way that's like just a real good feeling, you know, to feel like an exuberance. He plays with a real happiness. And a lot of times, most of the times, it's guys like Kobe and LeBron coming in and putting those kind of performances up on us. So to have it be a guy who we found, you know, on the street, basically, it's an amazing feeling.
Oh, hey. Vocal delay there. First off, I'm actually excited too, because despite all my carping about the Knicks, I grew up a massive Knicks fan, and I too have, well, I don't have the modified Lynn rookie card. I have an actual Patrick Ewing rookie card and a John Starks rookie card that I bought on QVC once. So I'm happy about this. What I'm wondering is, you've defended Melo a little bit on Twitter. Do you think that the team needs him? Do you think that they should trade him going forward, or is it too early to speculate on such matters?
It's ridiculously early to say something like that. I think it, you know, a lot of people say, you know, look at Paul Pierce as the mold going forward, how Melo could change his career. I agree with that. It's 27 years old. It's too early to give up on him, you know, and I think, you know, it's him melding with Lynn, and the kind of play that they're showing now is not any more improbable than Lynn appearing and putting up 38 points in the first place. You know, it's like you know, a guy who doesn't want to ride horses and say, well, would you ride this magical unicorn that has just appeared? What about that? You know, it's what's going on is so crazy that I just refuse to believe that it couldn't happen. I mean, it couldn't happen. Maybe it won't happen, but I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful that it could happen. And there's been so much, you know, talk about him not being able to do it. I think that hopefully that motivation to prove people wrong is really there.